Hi, Eric. Thank you so much for coming in. My name is Miss Martin, and I've been a mental health counselor for the last 10 years now. One thing that I wanted to talk to you about is confidentiality. Are you familiar with the term?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is said in this room will be left in the room unless there is a concern for your health or safety or that of others. Is that understood?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So why don't you just tell me a little bit about what brought you in today?
I seem to be thinking a lot lately about uh, my mother passing away.
Okay. Talk to me about what have you been thinking? What kind of thoughts?
Just about how difficult it will be when that day comes. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. Um, uh, I mean, just a little bit of detail, I guess, would be. It just seems like the the older I feel like the older a person gets, um, and their parent has been part of their life for that much longer than a younger person, it becomes to me harder and harder to um, to face that reality. And when you've relied on someone for so many years, and they've been such a big part of your life, it becomes more and more difficult to I guess I'm anticipating. I'm not really being present. I'm sort of projecting into the future. Um, so that's just, I guess, the basics of this sort of recurring thought.
So you're right. It is a difficult subject matter for anyone to think of loss. It's loss, especially with someone so close to you, such as your parent, your mother, your father. Um, can you can you talk to me a little bit about? I know you said you have this projected thought, and it's a recurring thought. How long has it been recurring?
Um, I guess it's been for quite a while, but it seems to be more lately, um, and I think I think it's somehow, as I get further and further into my career and it gets closer and closer to it finishing, maybe that has something to do with it. And also, I think other personal life conditions may be affected also because I don't have. I feel I somehow have this theory. It may be valid. It may not be. But I have this. I sort of have this theory that somehow it would be easier for me to take her passing away, especially since she's already lived a decent number of years. I guess I have this theory, as I said, that somehow it would be easier to a little bit easier, at least, to deal with her passing away in the future if there were another generation, if I had another generation to sort of look toward. It's sort of like I see it as it's obviously sort of the natural order of things, that one older generation passes away, and then you sort of a person can sort of throw their energy into the next generation, their offspring. So not having that, uh, that's my sort of unscientific theory on, or my intuitive theory on what's making it uh, extra hard to deal with this notion of her not being around anymore.
Okay. So I just want to see if I understand correctly. Sounds like you have some anxiety concerning the loss of your mom, and in the future, and also some work stressors that I understand you're ending your career.
Yes.
Okay. So those are two very big changes in anyone's life. And being prepared, it doesn't sound like you, it sounds like you're thinking more and more about the, all the negative aspects of those two things and what that will entail, what that means for you.
I think I'm thinking more about, at the moment, I think it's more about my mom.
Okay. And it seems like you're very close to your mom.
Yeah, yeah. It's you know, it's not like I call her every day. It's not like I see her every week even, but you know, being busy with work and stuff, very busy with work. But nevertheless, I do feel a lot of closeness. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
Yes.
Okay. And are you close with them?
So. The physical distance is not close. But I mean, I think we have I don't know, I think average close relationship.
Okay. All right. Do you have any outside network systems that you can talk to anyone outside of this room that you can speak to?
My sister, I mean,
Okay.
other family members, you know.
All right. And how have you spoken about the loss of your mom to anyone else?
Very briefly, not in any depth really.
Okay.
A little bit to a couple of people close to me.
Okay. So I'm asking you because I want you to know that this is a safe space. You can talk to me about whatever feelings that may come up, good, bad, ugly, indifferent. So you don't have to worry about sharing too much or too little. It's what we talk about will stay in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I was thinking is we could look into behaviors that would modify any kind, what that would mitigate any kind of anxiety that you may have, concern any further anxiety. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in doing?
Sure.
Okay. Have you heard of CBT?
It sounds familiar, but I don't remember what it is.
It's cognitive behavioral therapy, and
CBT.
right. It's the idea that our bad thinking patterns will lead to bad behavior patterns, and then ultimately lead us down a road of ruin. So if we can influence the way that we think, we will influence the way that we behave. So that with that, I would like to work on that, take that approach with you from here on out. Does that sound good?
It sounds very Buddhistic.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one thing that I would ask you to start considering, and in fact, we're for next week, would be to keep a journal. Keep a journal, and even if it's one sentence, you write something. Try and write something every night. Start with something small, and then see if you can keep that up for a week. And we'll talk about whatever you discover or not discover next week.
Okay.
Okay. The second thing that I would like to talk to you about is maybe while you're doing your journaling at home or wherever it is that you'd like, you can also, you have my contact information. You can call me if there's something that happens at work or in your personal your home life that you find a little disturbing. You can always call me.
Okay.
Okay, and at the end of the session, I'll definitely make sure that I give you my information. Do you have any other questions? Anything else that you'd like to talk about?
I'm just sort of stream of consciousness. When you said when you talked about CBT, when you talked about CBT, it's funny about changing one's thoughts, and I mean, I was thinking about the fact that I really should meditate more,
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the antithesis of where my mind is going, like I said earlier, into the future.
Okay, so yes, meditation is extremely helpful for that, for centering you. And if you find that that is what you're gravitating toward more, then we'll go with that. And maybe we'll discuss journaling a little bit later. But if that's something that is okay with you, that you feel that you'd be more prone to actually carry out every week, then that would be perfect. We can start off with something like 2 minutes a day,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll work up.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right, Eric. Thank you so much, and you have my contact information.
You're
so
welcome.
Same time next week.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.